We have a piece of news that I wanted to discuss with you.
So this isn't confirmed.
It's unconfirmed.
It's unconfirmed. It's like quite unconfirmed.
Quite unconfirmed.
And it's in the Venn diagram between this piece of rumor and Twitter fan casting is like 75% overlap.
Yes, but there is one detail that makes me think there is some truth to it.
Okay.
And I will get to that.
Okay.
So, of course, we learned earlier this year that there's a big project happening at Sony with the director Sam Mendes. It is a quartet of biopics, each about individual members of the Beatles during their time with the Beatles. Of course, those members are John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and George Harrison. There was a rumor yesterday, a casting rumor, a bit of reportage about who the actors could be playing those characters.
Right.
Do you want to read those names for me?
Sure. So it's Harris Dickinson as John Lennon, Paul Mescal as Paul McCartney, Barry Keoghan as Ringo Starr, and Charlie Rowe as George Harrison.
So I don't know who Charlie Rowe is.
I just Googled him before, like literally as you were doing the intro. I pulled up Charlie Rowe. I don't think I have seen him. He's in something called Gigi and Nate, which rings a bell.
Okay.
In terms of, I guess it wasn't a Netflix thing, but.
Does anybody here, Bobby, Jack, Alea, anybody know who Charlie Rowe is? No one's heard of this. So this is the reason why I believe this rumor.
That is true. He was apparently in Rocket Man and Never Let Me Go.
Okay. Well, I like Never Let Me Go.
He's on Slow Horses as Ben, but I'm not caught up.
I'm not a Slow Horses watcher.
I'm not caught up on, my husband watched it without me.
Okay.
Just total betrayal. Okay. George is an interesting, that's a big one.
It's a big part. He's a complicated character.
They're all pretty big because they each get their own.
They are big. So obviously you and I are big old Beatles dorks.
Did we ever actually talk about this happening on the podcast?
I thought we did. Maybe you were out when it broke?
No, because you texted me when it happened and you were like, don't say anything. We're just going to like have our emotional reaction on the podcast. And I can't remember whether we ever went there.
Here's your chance. How do you feel about Sam Mendes doing 4 movies about the 4 Beatles?
I guess we did talk about it because I said I was really nervous until everyone on Twitter kept being like, Harris Dickinson, Paul Mescal, Barry Keoghan, and Jacob Elordi. And I was like, well, now you have my attention.
Jacob Elordi's Aussie, right? He's not English. Yeah,
that's true. I mean, he's played English before, and he has the hair. If anything, he's just too tall.
I feel like he can't really go outside of England or Ireland for the Beatles. Is that blasphemy to say that? I feel like.
If I English or Irish, I would feel the same way.
Right.
I don't even know if I were Irish, I would feel the same way. You can speak to.
Oh, Paul is an Irishman. John is an Irishman too.
I mean, sure, but
is John an Irishman? I think he is.
It becomes complicated
okay.
very quickly. Anyway, I would agree, but being an American, I don't really care as much.
Yeah, it doesn't matter as much to me. I mean, it does feel like fan casting. I mean, These are 3 of the most exciting young male actors in Hollywood right now. These are huge parts. It's also a huge commitment. This is basically an MCU level commitment in terms of time that you would have to put into this project.
Right.
Now, I hate music biopics.
Right.
I love the Beatles. I love the Beatles more than I love all but like 3 living humans. So this is a tricky one.
Where are you on the casting in terms of who's who?
Mescal as Paul McCartney is crack. It's so good, it's terrifying.
But like, I can also see the Lennon.
I don't think he has any rage or anger in him.
You don't?
I don't. I think Paul Mescal is very gentle to the point of solipsism, much like our beloved Paul.
Yeah. Okay.
Harris Dickinson, I'd like to see him dial it up. We get a little bit of a taste of that in the Iron Claw when he grabs the mic early in the film, and you see him as the center of the show, which Lennon, of course, could command.
Right.
Barry Keoghan, I don't know. I'm a little down on Barry Keoghan post Saltburn.
Rude. Why?
I just think he's kind of a goof. But I guess Ringo's kind of a goof.
He committed to the part.
Uh-huh.
And he's, as far as I know, still dating Sabrina Carpenter.
Okay.
She of The Song of the Summer.
For whom? To whom?
For literally like all of America.
Tell it to Kendrick Lamar. Just tell it to Kendrick.
I mean, that is true. Okay. One half of The Song of the Summer.
Okay.
The Song of the Summer for...
I mean, I hope he's personally happy.
Yeah.
I guess Ringo is a goofy guy, so it could be a fun part for him. I mean, this is a lot. This is a huge thing.
It's just
You're very muted right now.
It has disaster written all over it, right? But
so Sam Mendes is
it can go great or it can go.
He's like the will the Giants win the World Series if Taylor Swift releases an album thing, where like every other Sam Mendes movie is a movie I really like, and the last one wasn't good.
I can't believe the last one happened.
It's crazy. Empire of Light is crazy. It's the most COVID shit of all time.
And it was so bad that we never even really talked about it. And I remember watching it on a screener and texting you basically every time Colin Firth and Olivia Colman had like awkward sex in the closet of the movie theater, just being like, why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
And also,
is that why they don't have sex scenes in movies anymore? Because of Empire of Light?
You know, on paper, that's another thing where it was like two of my favorite actors.
And
a love letter to movie
Roger
theaters.
Deakins.
Yeah, you know, and you're just kind of like, okay, well, I also love movie theaters, and then whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, it didn't work. You know, his movie before that, 1917, movie I liked a lot, which was a huge hit. What was before 1917? Was it Spectre?
Yeah, that was tough.
That movie stinks. Yeah. Skyfall, fucking masterpiece.
Absolute classic.
You know, American Beauty, your favorite movie in the 90s. He's done some interesting work. I love Road to Perdition. That's a really good movie. I'm the rare Revolutionary Road guy.
Right.
I stand for that movie.
Pretty dark, yeah.
Jarhead, are you into that? Have you seen it?
I have seen it. But you know, that was like 2005, 6.
Yeah,
Jake Gyllenhaal being really hot. You know, so I saw it more as like I don't think I was taking it seriously as like cinema and an investigation of war films.
What about the midlife crisis movie Away We Go?
Oh my God, I have seen that. I saw that in Brooklyn by myself, and that was really tough because obviously it's set in Brooklyn. I think I saw it at that decrepit Prospect Park Theater before it was shut down for bed bugs and other things.
Are you at all impressed that I can just recall every single Sam Mendes movie without looking at anything?
I really am. Because
I'm impressed that I just did that. I can't even believe I remembered all those movies.
Yeah.
Did I forget one? I must have forgotten one.
Well, he did a TV movie of Cabaret.
No, that doesn't count.
Okay. And then I'm seeing a couple fashion movies here. And then I guess films of plays.
Yeah, I know he did the Lehman trilogy.
He's a big theater guy. Yeah. And also apparently a King Lear.
So yeah, that's all of his movies. And it's a real mixed bag. Some of the movies I think are darn good. Some of them I think are literally my least favorite movies of that year.
Just in terms of this project, he's making 4.
Mm-hmm.
So our odds already aren't great.
That's true.
You know, at like best, he's going to bat 500.
Yeah. I mean, 3 out of every 5 movies stink.
And this is a subject matter where we can't accept like a 500% batting average, you know? I mean, just remember yesterday.
I mean, whose movie are you okay with being the worst? And whose movie will you not accept being the worst?
It's unfair to Ringo. I really do. Ringo
I knew you were gonna say that.
Well, we're all going to say it, but also Ringo is an incredible drummer, integral to the band.
Yep.
Yellow Submarine, really important in my house right now.
Uh-huh.
So
you know what I've started playing is Good Night from the White Album, sung by Ringo. You know, beautiful lullaby. Written for, I think it was written for Julian Lennon by John.
Okay, that's beautiful.
Yeah, great song.
I mean, the Paul movie, I would have to riot if it's done incorrectly.
I don't understand the scope of the stories. Is this Paul's entire life? Is it just up until he's 25 or, you know?
Is it all during the Beatles? Can you do like a post Beatles?
I don't know.
70s, you know, in Scotland?
Maybe it's just about his time dating Heather Mills.
Oh my God, that was really tough. They didn't just date, sir.
They got married.
Yes, they got married and then they got divorced.
Tough.
So it's not what you want.
Not ideal. What was the deal there? She was a charlatan? What happened?
I think that he didn't think through it or they didn't think through it and then it was unhappy. And there was an ugly legal proceeding for money.
2 tickets to all 4 of these movies for me.
Yeah, of course.
I'm very excited.
What's the release schedule going to be?
I don't know.
Do you want them like...
Good question. This is a good question.
All at once?
Should it be 26, 27, 28, 29?
I mean, are we going to be alive that long?
Can you really,
you're putting 29 on the table?
I mean, this is what Marvel did. That's why I'm saying that. And the idea of committing, or are they all being shot simultaneously? And are they all 1 hour and 40-minute films? And that there's an interconnectedness in the scenes that will recur throughout the film, or maybe from different perspectives. You could see that too.
Right.
How complex is the writing going to be? I don't know.
I think I would prefer to have them as a complete set fairly soon to compare and contrast.
Mm-hmm. Well, we know how great that's going to go for Horizon.
I know, but I was going to say, but Horizon is about to just absolutely keep that strategy from ever happening for everyone again. 4 years is a long time.
I think from a marketing perspective, you kind of need at least 6 months between a movie. And if you're, the idea, okay, so how about this? What's the release order? Because you can't open with Ringo, but you also can't close with Ringo.
I think you got to open with Paul and close with John.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
There we go.
So then what's 2 and 3? Ringo getting stuck in that third slot.
Yeah, but that's freeing because then you can really swing for it. You know, you can do something different. Yeah. You can like revive Ringo. Because here's the thing. The Singer one is like, they got to fucking nail the George one because George is the most complex and not even misunderstood, but like least developed of the Beatles. So that has to be like, that's probably your Oscar run is the George one. Mm-hmm. And the Paul one just has to be good, and it's Paul Mescal.
I think it's like this. Paul is the Avengers. No. George is Captain America Winter Soldier.
Can we have something that's just us?
Ringo has to be Captain America Civil War.
Oh, that's the 70s movie?
And then John is Endgame and the big conclusion.
Well, now I'm not excited about these anymore.
I should just compare everything to Marvel if I want to just fully deflate you.
What if we had a nice thing? What if we had our own shared IP enthusiasm, which are these 4 movies?
We have those. Come on. Okay. We have Mission Impossible.
Yeah, and this.